Stranger.
Hello and a very warm welcome to my little corner here in my lockdown, well, it was my lockdown studio, but now we're doing some little things for the photography show and the video show, and thank you for joining me today. That was a little taster of some of the work that I've done over the past year or so, and of course, you know, it would be remiss of me not to start my presentation with a over-the-top fanfare of all my great work. And I've got lots of buttons down here to press, and I think I can do things like this, which then pulls up today's topic, which is of course doubling up. It's not as double entendre as it sounds. If you want to scan that QR code at some point, either now or afterwards, that will give you a link, should pop up to my website with all my social media contacts, and of course you're more than welcome to drop me a line, harass me, stalk me moderately if you so wish. And while we're up on the slides, here is a quick snippet of some of the clients I've worked for over the years, and who are all beautiful and lovely people, and fingers crossed I'll be working for them again in the not too distant future. So I can also put me up in the corner, like what happens on TV late at night when they do the sign language, although I'm appalling at sign language and have no knowledge whatsoever of that. We are in an age now where staying still is no longer an option. So that could be whether you're a still photographer and only shooting stills, or whether you're a video person who wants to shoot stills. Either way, the boundaries are changing, the lines are blurring, and it is becoming more and more common for stills photographers to move into video. I started my career in broadcast TV and then moved to stills, and now I've gone back to video. But I obviously in that time developed a skill set across both genres. So now we've become known as hybrid photographers. I just assume that means that I'm partially powered by battery and partially powered by petrol. At the moment, I'm pretty much running on empty of everything, hence the bags under the eyes. That is a product of having no sleep for the last few weeks. Now, let us look at why you should consider doing both. And now this will annoy a lot of videographers. It will annoy a lot of stills photographers, because there are, unfortunately, amongst us quite a lot of purists who don't think that photographers should shoot video, and there are lots of videographers that don't think they should shoot stills. However, there are many reasons why you should. As there are reasons why you shouldn't, but the pros certainly, in my opinion, outweigh the cons. So why should we do it? And to kick it all off, here's everyone's favourite transvestite, crossdresser, to holding a video camera. It is great for social media marketing. Every video you shoot does not have to be a cinematic work of art, because it is content, and everything these days is about content. It's content driven. Getting your name out there, getting your stuff out there is all about content. It is superb for getting behind the scenes footage. It is a great way to add some colour and texture to your still shoots. Many still photographers do. Here's what I'm doing, here's how I set the shot up, and here's the client sitting in the chair ready to be interviewed, etc, etc. There is a great deal of material to be had when you're setting up shoots, doing shoots, traveling to shoots, etc, and it's something that you can really engage with your audience with. They are shooting video is really good for really small client films. It just gives them something else to have as well as shoot, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So you're adding something into your offering. They are even better for SEO, and that is still a thing. We all have heard about how amazing video is online, how many gazillions of people watch video, how many people engage with video, how popular YouTube is, and TikTok, and all the rest of it, and Instagram stories. There is no doubt about it that video is a way to increase your reach. And of course, more importantly, and hell knows we all need it nowadays, especially in these strange and scary times, it's another income stream for us, of course. And that is something to heavily consider. Video alongside stills looks pretty cool in client slideshows. So if you shot an event and you could just drop in a little video clip of something happening, it might be some ropey corporate entertainment act, or if it's a wedding, you might have a little video clip, not an extensive cinematic collection, but a small clip of maybe the bride and groom walking down the aisle, or something to do with the day that you can drop in, or even put on social media. And of course the clients are going to love it because they're getting some video out of it too. It is offering value to clients. Again, this is really going to annoy people because there are purists, and there are times when you need to be more than one person on a shoot. I'm not suggesting that for every shoot one person can do it. However, if you are out on a shoot, you have a couple of cameras, you have every right, and you have all the tools with you to be able to grab a bit of video here and there. And if you start learning and start enjoying the process, you're then able to build something into your offering, which means you can offer something that maybe another photographer or videographer doesn't offer. So actually, it's worthwhile investing a little bit of time and energy into teaching yourself how to shoot video if you're stills, and stills if you're video. So either way it works well. And oddly enough, I also run some training courses, which we'll talk about later, which may help you with that. Ka-ching, plug. Right, let us move on to something which I thought was quite interesting. And last year, when we were all out working, I was shooting a couple of days worth at Cool Britannia Festival. I was shooting for Nebworth House, where the event was, and basically it was loads of 80s bands, The Farm, Black Grape, James, all the bands that basically the last bands that I remember and know all the songs to. And it was a great afternoon, but I had pit access, which means I could go into the pit, the front of the stage, and I could shoot stills. And most of the people there were stills photographers. However, the way I rig my cameras enables me to flick in and out of stills and video. So what I thought I'd do, just for some giggles, is that I mounted a small action camera to the top of my my mirrorless camera, so my real camera underneath, GoPro thing, whatever, DJI, Osmo, Doodah, whatever, on top, and I let it roll, and I made a little video about how that looked. So it just might give you, now it's not as rammed as other pits that you might have been in, but the usual rule is for the pit, the band starts, you go in, you have 10 minutes or the first 3 songs, and then you leave. And it's a bit of a frantic struggle to sort of jostle for the best picture, the best place. But you're all in the same boat. But this might give you a little insight into what it feels like to be in the pit at a gig or an outdoor concert. So let's roll that, and hopefully this will work, and you'll be able to enjoy a little clip of what goes on in the pit. In the pit.
Let's vibe and levitate it. We gotta shout, we gotta sing, and we make no apologies for celebrating. Feel like something's out of control. Your mind says yes and your body says Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, so you can see there it was a lot of people. There's not much space to move around, and you're all jostling, but it gives you an idea of how little time probably you have to capture some stuff. So what I've gone and show you now is how I managed in those short little bursts of 10-minute sections to take a bunch of stills. Now here's some stills from the day. This is probably on a long lens, 70 to 200, lovely close-up of Tim Booth baying into the crowd. Absolutely love this shot. Now at the same time, I grabbed this shot here from the other side and ran round. And as I flicked round, I noticed that there was quite a lot of energy on stage. The crowd were up for it, and I wanted to grab a shot, some video for Nebworth for their archive, which is why I was there. Now, so this is actually the first frame of the video. So I'm going to roll the video. It's only short, but it gives you an idea of what you can achieve. So this is the drummer, again, long lens, stood to the side, flick the camera into video mode, and away we go. So get a little shot there. And now we can compare. Also, here's a shot of the crowd, quite a nice shot. Everyone's very excited, very happy. And then at the same time, or maybe further along that row of people, you flick into video mode, and that's actually a still from the video. But if you roll the video, there we go. So that's that. So what we've done is we're basically just doubling up on the ability to do more in the same space. Now, it will not work for every scenario, of course, but it just gives you more options. And shooting stills and videos is really quite a handy skill to have. So what I want to do now is show you almost how remarkable the quality is of the video that you get, as well as the stills. So if we go back to our presentation here, we can see here that you can, it's very hard to tell on the screen, but the giveaway is of course the screen size. And you can see above me here, there is actually the frame grab from the video, and on the other side over there, that is the picture, and they're very similar. I mean, obviously I've edited the still in Lightroom, and the video has been tweaked a little bit because I probably shot that in a log format or something that enabled me to grade it up a bit. But there's a shot of a rainy street in Amsterdam showing a shop selling adult-related items. But I just love the reflection in the water, and that just makes a beautiful video clip. But at the same time, I got a really nice still without having to excuse me, croaky voice, not corona, without having to sort of do a frame grab. So that's on the left is a raw photo, the right is a frame grab. But that's the quality of the video. And again, same here, somewhere in the Mediterranean. On the left we've got the still, and on the right you can see the same scene but shot on video. And what's incredible is that you get such a beautiful dynamic range as well in the video and in the still. Now obviously cameras differ, but most modern cameras are pretty good at shooting video, and they're really good at shooting stills. So there's not really an excuse to not at least give it a go, I would say. No. About this time last year, I was, I'd say, lucky enough to go and have a few days out in Ibiza, where I was shooting the launch of a new gin. Now, it sounded glamorous, it was rather arduous, it wasn't the greatest of weather, but this was a great example of how you can maximise your time and your offering to your client. So we went to a bar and we set up a shot, and the shot we set up was a table against a wall, very informal, maybe a little handheld light just off to the side, but there was nothing, there was no studio set up here at all. We found some dried oranges from the bar, we sprinkled them around the bottle, and that background is basically the wall in this little bar that we're in, and there's the gin we're launching. But what I realised was that these oranges look quite nice, and they're nice, colourful, and there's obviously orange in the gin, as you can see from the label. So I flicked the camera into slow-mo mode because well, why not? Might be worth a go. So the camera's in the same position, same setting, and this is what happened. So here's the shot. I'm going to remove me from the photo, from the thing there, so you can see. So there's the shot. There's the wall. A little bit of dirt up on the right there. I haven't cleaned it up too much, but in slow mo, this is pretty much straight out of camera. Now I think that's pretty cool. So I've enabled a bit of video from what was a still shoot, and that video has been used in promos and all sorts of stuff as well. And the reason you can do that quite quickly is because I've configured well, most cameras you can flick around and go into recording and video mode and change a few settings. I tend to have a few settings that I refer back to all the time. And for this section, we call it flicking in and out. So maybe another slight double entendre there. And so with that, I have got on my camera, apostrophe, open brackets, S, close brackets, I have custom settings for each scenario. So I might have slow-mo, I might have a quick video, etc. Now one little trick is I keep one setting for quick video. Now this is like a quick and dirty, nothing fancy. It's a natural picture profile. Everything's baked in. It's just almost like picking up your phone and shooting a video, but it's just an emergency. Flick the dial, bang, straight into shoot a video and roll, and then flick the dial back to stills again. So that's one thing that I always tend to do is have that one setting for a quick shot. I have another setting for slow motion too, as you saw, and then I have one setting because on my camera I've got, in fact I think I can show you my camera, and there it is. I've got there we go. I've got 3 custom settings plus a whole bunch more, but here, if I flick the dial C1, I think I've got quick vid. I wonder if I could show you if it's going to come up there. And then as we turn the dial C1, does it say that's, can't see there, it doesn't say. Oh, you can't see it. But anyway, I have those dials set so we can flick in and out. And then I can just flick to 2, which is slow-mo, and 3, which is the all singing, all dancing vlog thing. So I do that. I keep one setting for something more fancy, which in my case is the vlog, which is the log setting and ready for grading. And it's specifically set at 4K. What have I got it set at here? 4K 25p. So it's 4K cinematic. That's the one that I would use for doing something a bit more extravagant. And also, don't be ashamed. It's okay to use full auto because it's better to get the shot than not get the shot. And if you're not that comfortable with the pro settings of cameras, then just flick it to automatic and just press record because you're still recording it. It might not be as technically good as using manual settings, but in a pickle it's nothing to be ashamed about, so I would use full auto. And at the same time, of course, when you're recording your stills, you don't want to forget your audio, and it's often forgotten about because people think, oh, I'm just going to record. Now on the camera, including this lovely camera that I've got here, on top, these are the microphones. Now they're okay. I mean, they're not bad, but they're not going to give you amazing sound, right? So you're going to need to invest somewhat in some half decent audio kit. Now by half decent, I mean spending a little bit more than 20 quid on. Oh, I'm flicking all over the place. A little bit more than 20 quid on a microphone because there are some terrible microphones out there, and there are some really good ones that won't cost you very much money. So I would. Keep a microphone in your bag, in your kit bag, because it's always better to. I'm going to get one here actually. I'll show you. This is a little new one that I got. I'm reaching over, I'll get it and I'll show you in a second. Keep a mic in the kit bag. It's always better to use an external mic than the built-in ones. And if you want the best audio, then it's worth investing in a better mic. So over here, I've got this new. Really diddy. This is the MK200. It is about £90. It comes with, I can't find it because I was demoing. Oh, I've got it in front of me. Duh. It even comes with a little windshield there, which you can pop on, and that will give you some sort of wind protection. So easy on the beans. But it also comes with a series of cables. You got one for your camera, and you've got a smartphone connection, and it sits very nicely on top of the camera, thus like that, and the cable will plug into the front, and cleverly. It falls off, and cleverly it does not get in your way, because let me just attach this properly rather than there we go. Right, screw that down. You can't see what I'm doing. There we go. So it sits on the camera thus, and it's very small, and it's really handy. So what you would do then is pop the cable in, plug that into your camera at the side here. I've got too many cables plugged in. That goes into the side here. And because the design's quite natty, you can see that the cable isn't actually getting in the way, which is rather clever, I think. But this doesn't need any batteries. It's great. You can spin it around if you want to. You can do that if you were vlogging. Hello. But it's really handy, and it's great for atmosphere, atmospheric sound. It is great for doing a very quick, rough and ready interview. It's a lovely little microphone, and it's about £90, so you can't go wrong with that. Headphones are also very handy. Keeps them in your camera bag. They don't have to be hundreds of pounds worth. I always have a pair of in-ear headphones, tends to, so you can block out some of the sound. Now, they're not going to be great for perfect audio monitoring, but you can hear at least if there's something not right with the sound, like a crackle or there's some noise coming in from somewhere. So plug headphones into the camera, put the volume usually on full from the camera output to your headphones, and monitor the sound. Automatic levels in the camera are okay. Again, perfect, quick and dirty recording. But actually, I would always try and set your audio manually, because how the camera operates is it tends to ride the levels. So as the noise, the ambient noise decreases, the camera will also adjust its noise levels, and then if suddenly there's a sudden rise in noise in the room, then the camera's gain, the level, the sensitivity of the microphones will suddenly jump up. So you might find it going up and down, and it's not great. So all professional sound recorders will set the level manually. Most people tend to sort of speak within a range, so you're good. So get them in front of the camera, ask them a few words. How are you doing? What did you have for breakfast? How did you get here today? Set your level, and a little bit of keep it very basic. If your camera has got green, yellow, and red markings, keep the main bit of the audio within the yellow. If it goes a little bit into the red, it's okay. It's not a problem. And that is a very quick guide to shooting on stills and video, or becoming a bit more of a hybrid photographer. And there's pretty much it, apart from just to throw this slide up here. And if I remove myself from the picture, thank you very much. And of course, stay safe in these strange and scary times. There's the QR code. It will hook you up with my website. I have got a cheeky little coupon code there, which gives you 20% off stuff in my online store. Say store, it's really just training. We can do online, we can do remote, like interactive, we can do bespoke stuff. We can spend an hour or so, and we can have a thorough grounding in mobile photography. With your smartphone, we can get your camera set up, shooting video, give you some tips and tricks, and maybe what kit to get, and also some settings. Pretty much do whatever you like, really, within reason, and providing it's legal. So there we go. There's the coupon code TPS 2020. That is about all we have time for today. So it just remains for me to say, thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the show, albeit a rather strange show this year. However, there's some amazing things to get your teeth into and have a mooch, as we say up north. Thank you for joining me. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, as Jerry Springer would say, and enjoy the rest of the photography / video show. All the best. Take care. Bye bye.